Hey y'all, it's Donald James, the Third Coast Cowboy here. Thanks for watching Franken Yak Parts 1 and Parts 2. Hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun making it. Here's the quote custom graphics I did for Franken Yak. Uh, I just put this on high speed and y'all can see what I did and how I did it. Just tried to use stuff I had laying around the house to make this happen. So here you go. That razor knife or X-Acto knife kit you see there, I got at Harbor Freight. I don't remember exactly how much it was. I know it was pretty inexpensive for everything that came with. And the letters, I just used the computer. The font I used was called Pieces of Eight, and spelled out Franken Yak as best I could, fit it on the paper in a landscape format, which means I told the printer to do it sideways when it printed instead of up and down, and just slowly cut them out. Took quite a bit of time, but it was fun. It's part of the creative process, you know. You look back and think about all the effort you put in, and kind of puts a smile on your face.
Hear that heel slap rhythm, flip flops on your feet, stepping on that bamboo floor. Roll with the flow, coconuts in the trees, sand outside the door. Throw your beach towel down, smooth the sand with your hand. Pick any old spot, ready to go. Beverage controlled with your flip-flop tabletop. 'Cause it's a flip-flop day, a flip-flop life. Traveling the world on flip-flop time. Flip-flop music and flip-flop friends. They say that life this good is a flip-flop crime. So let's sit here and do some flip-flop time. Lock me up. Days last forever, sun sinks on the water. Busy hanging out with friends. Boats in the harbor, dancers upon her. The ocean gives us love again. Tiki torchlight, soft skin in the night, cooled by an offshore breeze. Walk in the sand, flip-flops in your hand. This life just can't be beat. 'Cause it's a flip-flop day, a flip-flop life. Traveling the world on flip-flop time. Flip-flop music and flip-flop friends. They say that life this good is a flip-flop crime. So let's sit here and do some flip-flop time. Lock me up. They're always appreciated at our favorite spots. No shoes allowed, just bare feet and flip-flops. Belly up to the bar, then pick any old spot. Drop your butt in the sand and use your flip-flop tabletop. 'Cause it's a flip-flop day, a flip-flop life. Traveling the world on flip-flop time. Flip-flop music and flip-flop friends. They say that life this good is a flip-flop crime. So let's sit here and do some flip-flop time. Lock me up, it's a flip-flop day, a flip-flop life. Traveling the world on flip-flop time.
So I just used that tape and eyeballed it. Tried to get all those letters put in a reasonable line and some decent spacing. And I thought my template came out pretty good.
Let's sit here and do some flip-flop time. Lock me up.
I rubbed it all down with some isopropyl alcohol and clean it real good. And then I used that 3M spray, thinking I'd spray the back side of my little template. It'd stick to the kayak for me, and I'd be able to just shoot it. Well, that 3M spray kind of soaked that template pretty good, and as you can see, it took me a little bit of finagling to kind of get it lined up. Not sure the 3M spray was the way to go. Might have to try something else next time. One thing I learned about this time is when I was putting that template on there, I really should have put a lot of effort into making sure that the template was sealed to the kayak at the edges of each letter. Because when I initially spray it, I got a little bit of bleed through where the paint didn't have a good solid line where the paper met the kayak to stop, and it kind of blew underneath the template a little bit. It was something I fixed. It wasn't too big a deal, but I did learn that. So there's the first coat. And my color choice here was based on what paint colors I had in the garage. And that yellow was left over from another project. I'm not sure what it was, but I figured out looked pretty good for a base coat. We're going to go with that. I used that silver spray paint to just lightly dust over the top of the yellow. I think that was my attempt at trying to do a poor man's silver leaf on my letters. This is where I had to clean up some of that overspray I was talking about. And I just took some Q-tips, dipped them into isopropyl alcohol, and just very carefully rubbed the areas on the outside of the letter where that paint bled through. And it cleaned it up pretty good. The paint hadn't set up yet, so it was almost like redrawing the outline of the letter. Then I did a little scraping with the little blue tool I had to kind of sharpen things up. That blue tool is actually a body tool for removing the panels of your door. If you want to take the inside panel off your door, there's little grommets that pop into the metal frame of the door, and that slides underneath and pops those grommets free so the panel comes off. That's, I think, too thick. It's not going on very good, so I'm going to try this little thin one. I went with that smaller brush because that larger one just was putting too big of an outline around my yellow letters. And it started to work okay, but even then, it was still too wide for me, so I'm going to drop down even one more size. I got these paintbrushes at Hobby Lobby. Got a whole package of them, different sizes, pretty inexpensive, and this is some paint that Heather had laying around the house that she had used earlier when she'd done some toll painting on one of her projects. So I chose that color, thought it looked pretty decent with the yellow, and went on pretty good. Alright, I'm going to go even smaller still. I'll say something. I do not have really steady hands. And I've never done a bunch of this pinstriping or letter outlining before. So it was a chore for me to really be patient, try and figure out ways to anchor my fingers against the kayak so that my hand wouldn't shake and move around. I was happy with the way it came out. It gave it some character. It's got a little customized Donald James wiggle waggle to it.
Hear that heel slap rhythm, flip-flops on your feet, stepping on that bamboo floor. Roll with the flow, coconuts in the trees, sand outside the door. Throw your beach towel down, smooth the sand with your hand. Pick any old spot, ready to go. Beverage controlled with your flip-flop tabletop. 'Cause it's a flip-flop day, a flip-flop life. Traveling the world on flip-flop time. Flip-flop music and flip-flop friends. They say that life this good is a flip-flop crime. So let's sit here and do some flip-flop time. Lock me up. Days last forever, sun sinks on the water. Busy hanging out with friends. Boats in the harbor, dancers of honor.
Here I go again with my door molding tool, doing a little bit of scraping. And I grabbed a little piece of a broken razor blade, just lightly, kind of cleaned up my lines. The paint that I did the trim work with around the yellow was an acrylic, so it was water-based. It's something that's going to wipe right off if I'm not careful. So I knew putting that on top, I was going to have to go ahead and put a sealer over the top of the letters themselves so they'd stay on. The first coat of paint, the yellow, was actually an enamel, so that won't wash off. It'll scrape off, but it won't wash off. So here in a minute, when I get done cleaning things up, I start spraying with a clear coat, and that protects that acrylic paint that I used.
They're always appreciated at our favorite spots. No shoes allowed, just bare feet and flip-flops.
Franken Yak. Get in there.
Drop your butt in the sand and use your flip-flop tabletop.
Clear sealer, little gloss clear sealer.
It's a flip-flop day, a flip-flop life. Traveling the world on flip-flop time. Flip-flop.
Hey.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. Hope you think it's funny. I was happy. Came out pretty good. No runs. Not sure why I didn't take another video of the finished product, so I'll just give you a freeze frame shot. But hey, I appreciate y'all for watching and subscribing and following along, and for the comments you make. Come on by thirdcoastcowboy.com. You can listen to some of my music and subscribe here to Third Coast Cowboy on YouTube and watch some of the videos. Hope y'all are having some great adventures. See y'all soon.
Yeah, baby.